Hi all, Michael here from Pushworth with Nikki from the Music Reel, and today we're going to be talking to you guys about funding and grants because there's been a lot of news out there about grants that are now available for the arts. And like myself, I've never, like everyone else out there, I've never myself applied for a grant. And Nikki, I think you're the same as well.
Me
But
neither.
hey, there were grants available, and we both found, I think, going, cool, we can apply for grants, but how do we do it? What do we do? What's involved? And it's just a whole other world.
Yeah.
So I thought today we'd go through and I'll ask you some questions
All right. Let's do it.
because you're a little bit better at it than me.
Oh,
And
no. I'm
and
better at bullshit than you are. It's just, it's because the government's obviously going to give out funding in terms of grants. Most of us in our network this is foreign to us. We just go out and gig and we just earn money. We don't normally need any government assistance. So
Yeah,
I
right.
think it's time that we all upskilled. So that's why Michael's going to take us through this today so we can try and get a better understanding of what we need to do.
All right, cool. So there's another video that we did on LinkedIn, and the first thing we're going to talk about is LinkedIn. So tell us about the LinkedIn profile and your bio. So if you're starting step one on what to do, how to apply for a grant in the arts, step one,
So
please.
go through your LinkedIn profile. Make sure you add every single thing that you've done in there. Not just the gigs that you've done or the events or the tours or releases, but also your skills. And as Michael said, we've done a previous one, so watch that. Also do your bio and really update that. We've seen some pretty hideously bad bios over the years. And they're hard to write. And no one likes to write about themselves. So go to our website. We've got some hints about it as well. So update your bio and write a really good presser about whatever project you're doing right now, because whatever your project is, that's what you're applying for the funding for. So, make that, be really clear about that. Who's your target market? Do the buffer, which is your benefits, your utilities, your features, and your advantages, so that you actually understand how to sell that product. So if you met someone in an elevator and you had 90 seconds to sell it to them, be able to say that, that's the first place to start.
That's great. So much, we could spend literally one of these episodes just talking on the bio.
The bio.
Now, letters of support are really important to, for the person that, for the person that's reading your grant, application. They're going to want, you give them the information about yourself, and you need to get what are called letters of support to, substantiate what you're trying to get funding for. So tell us a little bit about, letters of support, how they can assist and why they're important, I suppose. And
well, I would suggest you guys do this on a regular basis anyway. Maybe every year, get a letter from your agent, whoever you're working through. If you've got a management company you work with, or like a publicist or your label, or someone you come across in the media, or a promoter, anyone that's got some legs in this industry and you've worked with them, get a letter from them so that they've got some credibility and they can say, look, this person knows what they're doing. I've worked with them. It's like a reference, like a bit of a testimonial, and they're handy to collect. So I know a lot of people were scrambling. I think I wrote out about 100 of them, in the last lot of funding applications. So be on top of that, have them ready to go so that you don't have to scramble.
Absolutely. Now, metrics, this will confuse a lot of people.
Okay, look, this is a big one. Yeah, but this is a big one. Make sure that you keep a little Excel spreadsheet noting your likes, your following on all of your socials, so that you can at any point go, my reach is blah. Right? So make sure you keep that. Make sure you've got Google Analytics on your website so that you can always track and where the clicks are coming from, the demographics, and it breaks all of that down for you. So keep that so you check on it every month. Your metrics are also your financials. So a lot of people got caught with their pants down because they haven't done tax for a while. So make sure you've got your P&L, make sure your BAS is up to date, your end of financial year, so that you know what's coming in, what's going out, so that at any point you can say, this is what I've been earning. And all of these metrics adding value to your music brand, and you're going to need access to that for a lot of these funding grants. So just have it there ready to go.
Yeah. Now, we just stopping halfway here, we had done, like, on a lot of these individual topics that we're discussing. We've actually done videos on all of these subjects, you know, about bookkeeping and bios and lots of stuff. So find those videos that we've done and definitely, we might even have links to them
yeah, we will.
in the description. But yeah, so super important. Let's talk about your business plan, because they're going to want to know, you know, if you're going for funding or you're starting a new project, which is what you're getting funding for.
Yeah.
Business plan.
So you really need to know what the timeline is, how long it's going to take, what are the resources that you need, what are the costs, because a lot of these funding grants need you to provide a quote. So research all of the things that you need, and then, you know, find that information online. And if you can get quotes, it'd be great. But you've got to be able to demonstrate, this is what I'm going to be doing. This is the target market. This is the product. This is how long it's going to take. This is what it's going to cost.
Yeah.
And if you kind of do that anyway in your music business, it actually helps you to make better decisions, because you're not going to be desperate. You're going to know at any point, all right, well, look, this is where I'm at my budget. This is where we're at with our recording project, or, you know, we're setting up a new feature show. Kind of always, you're organically connected to your business. So I think it's a really good idea to do that every year anyway.
Yeah, I mean, if you think of it with a grant, I suppose it's the government investing in your business. So it's the same. If I was to invest my money in your new laundry business, for instance, I'd want to know, you know, all the ins and outs and different things. So you've got to view, you know, you got to view it from the point of view of the, you know, the government body that's giving the funding, and giving them a reason to go, well, this is something that's going to benefit, you know, the community. And so, yeah, the business plan is just so important.
It is. State your case. Show them how much value you're offering to contribute to the economy. That's what a business plan is. And the government's kind of like an unofficial business partner, I guess, because they're funding it with you. Yeah.
Great. Let's talk digital assets. So websites and social media, publicity, photos.
So you have to have all this stuff ready to go. There was a funding application we did a couple of days ago for one of our artists that needed landscape and portrait high resolution photographs. So you need to make sure you've got them ready to go. Have a backup of all your MP3s, your MP4s, if you need to upload them at any point. Make sure you've got really good press releases for whatever the project is. Make sure that it's engaging and it makes people actually want to know about it. All of this stuff you need to have anyway. So it's great to do it every 3 months, as we've always been talking about, your bio, your presser, your photos. And make sure your photos are high res, they're current, they're not 20 years old, and you've got them in all the different formats. Because with some of the grants, there might be awards, and they're going to pick you based on, do you have the digital assets so that if they need to advertise it, they've got it all ready to go? Yeah. So it's like, how much value do you offer them as a grant recipient? Think about it in terms of that. So just have it ready to go and have it backed up. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's all about being organised. All these things I think that we've been harping on about for years about.
I know.
Get your bio, get your demo. And,
I know. And you so think important. We're nagging you. We're just trying to help you.
Yeah. All to benefit your business. So, hey, let's this is an interesting one about Wikipedia and statistics.
All right. Okay.
For me, myself, you know, I even overlooked this. So I was like, oh.
All right. So look, I know you think you're not worthy of a Wikipedia page. You need to have one. Right, we're currently working on ours at the moment. You need to have one, and that's kind of the place where you collect all your stats. So when was the song released? Where did it chart to? Who were the co-writers? Who was it released through? All your publishers, your labels, all of that information, you need to track that. And then what tours you've done, who have you supported? Because Michael, if I asked you about your previous release, you couldn't tell me any of that.
Oh, I could actually.
You could? Okay. Well, then you are in the minority.
No, I know what you mean.
Yeah, have that. And then as you go, just keep upgrading your Wikipedia so that at any point, if you are applying for a grant, they go to your Wikipedia. Oh, it's actually here. And then you use your references and back it up with whatever else is being marketed online. It's really important. So, but your statistics are everything.
Yeah, really good. And it really adds weight to your proposal that you're doing. So yeah, I think that's amazing. Let's talk about personal ID, because they're going to want to know who you are and where you live. And
I know this sounds simple, right? But a
it
lot
does
of
sound
people
simple.
move around and don't necessarily update their address on their driver's license, or they might not necessarily have a bill in their name showing their address. And you need to be able to show your identity in order to apply. And you would be surprised how many people can't do this. So make sure that your voting is updated, your driver's license, make sure your bills are updated. It's something so simple, but it could stop you from being included if you can't identify yourself.
So yeah, it's such a small thing, but so overlooked.
Yeah.
Let's talk about, music files and MP3s, MP4s. Because you're gonna, if you want to put up, they're wanting to see projects and different things that you've done. It's not just like I just put on my website, it's all there. It's got to be a little bit more. It's got to be a little bit more sort of in depth than that.
Well, I'm embarrassed to admit this. So I did 2 albums when I was younger, and I have not saved one master. I've not saved any of the photos. I've not saved any of the assets. Right? That's disgusting. What a waste! What a waste! And I'm telling everyone to do it. I didn't do it. So this is why I understand it. So keep a backup of, and do it like in an external, not just use the cloud, but have an external backup. All of your videos, like your actual raw videos, and then your edited videos, your audios, raw and edited, or your assets. Make sure you can access them when you need to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And look, the final thing to touch on today is project management. So, songwriting, planning your tour,
all right,
all that sort of stuff.
So in a lot of these grant applications, you've got to be able to show, demonstrate what your vision is. So you've got to actually have a vision statement. That's quite different to a business plan. So you've got to be able to creatively articulate that and express that to engage someone's interest. And that's an important aspect. So if you're a multi-million-dollar business and you want to attract a sponsor or a partner, you've got to sell your vision. So you do need to do the same thing in these grant applications. And the project management plan helps you to sort of say, look, it's going to be this timeline, these are the resources, these are the quotes, this is who I'm working with. And they know that you actually know what you're actually going to, when they give you the $10,000, they know, oh, well, that's money well spent. It's actually going to deliver something. So this is something, if you work on it now and make it a part of your every week work with your music brand, it means that when these funding opportunities come up, you don't have to go, oh my God, how am I going to do it? It's all there.
Yeah. I think a really important thing to remember is that funding and grants are always available. It's not just because of what we've experienced in 2020, but funding and grants for arts and for other sectors have been available and have been there for musicians to use and to help fund projects. So if you do organise this stuff and be prepared for this stuff, there's so many different grants and things that you can apply for that the government wants to invest in your art. So it's a really, really important, extra thing that you can be doing. And this can be actually funding you to be creative, to create new businesses and create new opportunities.
And it's also outside of grant funding, you might come across someone who has a charity and they might like to partner with you and then get sponsorship in to pay for that. You need the same kind of stuff ready to go. So at any point, you can maximize any opportunity if you have all this stuff ready to go. So we'll have a list of this and attach it to this post so you can download it and use it as a template just to kind of make sure you're all ready.
Yeah, that's amazing. Thank you so much for your time today, Nikki. Thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you soon.
Thanks, guys.